Messages of self-love. Before I came down to record this video, I noticed some thoughts, some voices in my head that told me it would be better if I went upstairs and changed what I was wearing, did my hair differently, and put a face full of makeup on in order to record this video. I noticed it and I kind of sat back and was like, wow, this is exactly the message that I shared in the last video that I did. The idea of falling in love with the experience of being a woman, with being a person, with being my unique natural self, instead of, or rather than, planning and plotting and calculating what I have to look like, how I need to act, what I need to say, how I need to behave in order for you, or to be that version of me that you would be most likely to accept and approve of and acknowledge and ultimately love. I've done this a lot. I've done this a lot for most of my life. And I want to hope, maybe not being alone in this, but I think a lot of women do this. And maybe it's someone like you. When I do this, if I went upstairs and did all of those things that voice told me to do, I would be living my life for you, hoping and praying that this message of self-love, me being me, you would accept. And what we do is we deny love for ourselves. We deny our own light. We deny our uniqueness because we're spending so much of our time wondering what we have to do in order to be this version of someone for someone else. And I don't want to do this anymore. I'm tired of it. I know I understood the idea of living a life for other people. I thought I understood what that was, and I think I did to a degree, but now I understand it even more. And now that it's been brought to my attention, I've brought it to my own attention and have set the intention and been devoted to this level of awareness, I can see how often I've done it. And maybe you too have done this. Does it resonate with you? Do you see yourself calculating in order to be this version of someone for someone else? And if you notice that you have, it's okay. Love yourself anyway. There's no need to beat yourself up for any awareness, because all awareness is to be celebrated. Last week, I had a few experiences where I felt tested because I am intent, willing, devoted, and committed to deepening my practice of self-love, because it's so different now than it was 15 years ago when I started out and I was reading Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life, and I was looking in the mirror every single day saying, I am willing to love myself. That worked for me then. But my consciousness has expanded and evolved, and I understand more now the path towards loving myself. So when I set that intention in motion, of course the universe says, all right, cool, now we're going to test your resolve. Here are a few experiences so we can check out, do you really want to learn how to love yourself? So just real quick, I read an email 2.5 weeks late. There's great opportunity in this email, and it was sent 2.5 weeks prior. I just noticed the negative talk immediately. As soon as I saw it, my heart sunk. I had this pit in my stomach, and I immediately wanted to go to, you are such an idiot. You are so stupid. You lost out on an opportunity. And I let that be there for about a minute, but then I stopped it, and I was able to find love for myself. And the opportunity's still there, and I'm moving forward with it, and it's unfolding. So staying in a positive state, you actually reap a positive benefit from it. So instead of going down that rabbit hole, I decided to stay positive and neutral, like, okay, if it's meant to be, it'll happen, and it is happening. So that's great. The other thing that I wanted to share with you is last week I was on my way to a weight class at the gym, and I told myself I was going to be very conscious of the thoughts I was thinking and the feelings that I was experiencing from the time I was getting ready to go until the time I was in class. And the first thing I noticed when I was going through my closet looking for something to wear is that I wanted to find something that would hide my body. That was the thought I was thinking, and I was unconscious to it until I became conscious of it. And I thought, that's really interesting. I want to hide. And then when I was in class, before class started, talking to a friend of mine, and this happens to me a lot, maybe it happens to you too. I can be engaged in a conversation with someone, a friend, and even though I think I'm present, I'm actually not fully present because I'm buying into the voices, that negative rhetoric that is streaming in the back of my mind all the time, telling me that she is judging the way I look in spandex and in this shirt that I chose. Maybe I should have chosen the one that would hide my body better. So in that moment, I asked, okay, I noticed it. There's the awareness. What's self-love? What does that look like? What does that feel like to me now? How can I love myself more deeply rather than thinking someone is judging and shaming me? Because the truth is, I was just judging and shaming myself. And the last thing that I wanted to share with you is during class, I took some time to look around, not in judgment, but to observe what was going on within me and how I felt towards every single woman in that room. There was a wide range of body types in that room. And each one, I would look at her and I asked myself, would I reject her or deny her light because of the shape of her body and what she looks like? And the answer was always no. Of course I wouldn't deny her light, her natural self, her expression because of her body type. So then why am I denying love for myself? Why am I denying love for my physical body? And much, if not all of that, goes back to my childhood, and I don't need to talk about that now because it's not relevant. I mean, it's relevant, but I don't need to get into it. But once again, I came back to, okay, I'm denying love for myself. I have been denying love for myself. In what way can I accept my body, approve of my body, acknowledge my physical body, and in turn, love it unconditionally rather than judging it or thinking that I have to be different or better than what I am now in order to be adequate, worthy, or lovable. So that's where I want to leave it. I have some other examples, but I don't want this video to go on too long. Messages of self-love. Are you a woman who is ready to deepen your practice? Reach out to me. Let's get together. Let's have a cup of tea, a cup of coffee. Let's go for a walk. And let's talk about the ways that we can love ourselves more truly and stop denying love for ourselves, but also ways that we can put an end to inner conflict, inner polarity, and put an end to self-judgment. As always, you are the most important person in your life. The relationship with yourself, is the longest relationship that you will have in your life. So love yourself. Be in relationship with yourself first and practice awareness.